Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You know, all day yesterday, I was thinking, what am I going to write about for my sermon? What am I going to talk about? So I turned on Oh Happy Days. I got to get in the spirit of things to get going here. So I thought about two very important concepts. Things happening for a reason and positivity. Everything we go through in life has a purpose, both good and bad. Everything we do is a lesson that we must learn on this earth plane. Let me give you a good example of this. In elementary school and middle school, I really wanted to be an architect. So much. An architect. I was visualizing me building buildings, you know, really going at it, because I was really interested in Roman architecture. In 7th grade, I signed up for a video productions class, because I watched the school news, and I was really interested in it. It looked very fun to do, so I ended up co-anchoring the morning show, and I really enjoyed it. The next year I moved to Maine, and the middle school up here didn't have a television program, but I didn't even think anything of it. Until that summer, leading up to my freshman year, I participated in a 6-week television productions class. I was a little pessimistic at first, not knowing what to expect, but nonetheless I took the class. Throughout the class I noticed how much I enjoyed it and how concepts came to me much quicker than my peers. Ironically, my teacher noticed it too, because by the end of the 6 weeks, he offered me a chance to be in the advanced television class as my freshman, which has never been done before. So it was pretty intimidating at first, but I really liked it. So as a freshman in a class full of upperclassmen, with much more years of experience than I, it was very intimidating. Hello! But I was in the class and I was like, you know what? Let's put this pessimism behind and say, you know what? I want to be the poster child for a cause. That no matter your age, it's what you do. It's what you can channel, you know, infinite intelligence. I can do this. I wanted to set wrong to what the upperclassmen were saying. He's a freshman. He doesn't deserve to be in this class. But you know what? I succeeded in my effort. You know, I took leadership roles and almost had to boss them around, but not really. I had to say, you know, you do this, do it well. Oh. Thank you, Spirit. So, by the end of my freshman year, however, it added to the seemingly good fortune. I placed 3rd place in the New England School of Communications Video Festival, became executive producer for TATV, our student-run station, and contracted with an organization to produce a series of videos for Maine Medical Center. So it was a pretty exciting time in my life. Now, as you know, that July, I started attending this church. And also during the summer, I did an internship with Channel 4 in Portland. In the fall of my sophomore year, I started a political debate show, interviewing a big host of people, including 2 state representatives, a gubernatorial candidate. The list goes on and on. This past spring, I auditioned to be a presenter at the Student Television Network out in California. I was selected out of a national pool of talented individuals, only one from the East Coast. The convention furthered my interest in the field of television production. When I got back, I had to meet with my guidance counselor about something. Now, somehow he brought up the fact that there was a free leadership seminar that I could sign up. So I said, okay, sign me up. Ironically, that was the last day you could sign up. And 10 minutes after that meeting, the guidance department met to pick one individual. Pretty iffy. Okay? So the next day, my guidance counselor comes to see me, and he's like, you are now our Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Ambassador. I'm like, cool! I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it. So I went to the state seminar over the summer. I learned all about leadership. Then over the summer was the big kahuna. Okay? It was the World Leadership Congress. I met ambassadors from all over the world. It was a great cultural experience for me. Probably the best time of my life. I felt empowered to get involved in my community through volunteering, as it was also a requirement to fill 100 hours of community service. But I still felt empowered. Now, why did I just tell you my whole life story, kind of? Well, all these events leading up to now were no mere coincidences. They happened for a reason. I was supposed to move to Maine to access the great television newspaper classes up here in Maine, as I now aspire to be a broadcast journalist. I was supposed to be a part of that Leadership Ambassador program, as most colleges for broadcast journalism require strong community service. And I hadn't even thought about community service before that leadership program. So it all goes to show you about that. Now, I was supposed to start going to this church, as more than a year later, I'm now standing up here at the podium. Things really do happen for a reason. There's a purpose. Now, think about your own life for a moment. How many of you, raise your hand, that take a few minutes on the weekend to review events of the week? More than I expected. Okay, but that's not the rest of the speech. Well, I'm going to continue anyway.
Preaching to the choir.
Right. In our daily hustle and bustle, we tend to not to stop to smell the roses and to appreciate the lives and events, experiences, and people that we've met along the way. Look back at your life. I guarantee you will find similar stories like mine, packaged differently, but nonetheless you will find those experiences that you never really pieced together before. Life is like a jigsaw puzzle. Every lesson, experience, and person are pieces of that puzzle. Put all the pieces together and you get a work of art, your life. Okay, so now that you know about lessons, how do you get through those bad lessons, those that really challenge you as a person and as a spirit? How do you get through those? One word, positivity. Positivity is defined as the quality of being encouraging or promising of a successful outcome. Sometimes people confuse being positive with being happy. Happiness is a state of well-being, characterized by emotions ranging from contentment to intense joy. Happiness is a human emotion, while positivity lies within us. We just have to tap into it. We are positive light spirits. Why shouldn't we have this positivity? You know the book The Secret? Okay. Good. Yes! Well, it proposes that we are the creator of our own life, experience, and power to change is within us. Again, proving that we can tap into that positive light energy. Well, spiritualists have known about The Secret long before it became a mainstream success in commercialized culture. It is part of natural law. It has been proven time and time again that your thoughts create your reality. Let's apply it to real life. How many of you worked with a coworker that was always negative about other coworkers, their job, and always negative? You need to separate yourself from people who are always negative, because if you feed into that negativity, you yourself will become negative. Now you can try to brighten up that person's life, bring them to the path of positivity and light. But if that doesn't work, which most of the time it doesn't, just separate yourself from that person. You don't need to be with that person. Let them go. Usually negative people tend to be looking for attention with that positive energy. They want your positivity. They want your energy. If you notice, you might feel tired after you talk with a negative person. They're draining you. They're draining that positive energy that you have within you. So how can you yourself tap into it when you're down in the dumps, or having a bad day, or you're just tired? Well, there's a variety of ways to tap into that light energy. One way we all know is what Gloria does during the healing meditation, visualizing the golden light. You know, you can meditate at home, you can visualize the golden light anywhere you are. Also, I found that music helps in this regard as well. Let me tell you about a quick story. I was feeling pretty bad one day, and I was really bummed out. It was like really down in the dumps, and I started getting that negativity, that human negativity, where it was like, oh, it's not going to get better, I really don't feel good about myself. And so, for some reason, an idea popped in my head. An idea that I need to listen to some music, and that sounded good to me. It was a good idea because it was a way to clear out that negativity, get my mind off something else. So I put my headphones on, I turn on my iPod, and what comes on but a song called God Speaking. And the words spoke to me. With every word, I could feel God's presence. It was a very intense feeling. It was evident by me bawling my eyes out. But it wasn't me crying because it was sad. I could feel God with me. I could feel His loving energy. So I responded back, of course, by singing the words of that song, which spoke about appreciating God. After the song was over, the feeling left. So I thought it was over. The next song that comes on was a real dance-along song. I really got into it, so I started dancing by myself. That looked kind of crazy, but, I started doing it. So, as I was starting dancing by myself, I could feel the presence of angels all around me. I could feel them, and I could see them with my third eye. It's like they were dancing along with me. I was dancing, and they were like, yeah, Justin, bring it down. I could feel the intense heat and loving energy from them. It was so amazing. Now, when you listen to music, you might not feel the presence of God or angels, but it will lift your spirits up if you listen to an upbeat song. It really, really does help.